paper crafters, thank you so much for joining me today. I love that you took the time to pop by my channel, check out the video that I've got going, and hopefully stay and poke around a little bit. I'm really excited to be able to offer some videos now and then and share my love of paper crafting. So I hope you find something that you enjoy and come back to see me another time. Bye-bye. Hey paper crafting friends, thanks for joining me today. This is the second video in a series featuring this C'est La Vie Parklane paper stack. So if you haven't seen it yet, there is a video where I show how to take this stack apart and put it into project sets. And then I've already done one video featuring a 2-page layout using one of those sets. Today's video is going to use this particular set that I put together. I have added a couple of things to it. I added some plain black cardstock. That's gonna be the background for today. And then I also pulled in another solid because I knew I was gonna need something for photo mats. This is an old close to my heart paper called Cranberry. It is a retired color, but I'm sure that you can find something. This is right in that color span in between a red and an orange, and it really goes well with the darker part of these poppies, okay? There's a sentiment card that I had pulled out to go with this set, okay? There's a half sheet of this rose gold metallic, this really beautiful black with the metallic accents on it, the poppy sheet, okay? And then there's also this metallic sheet. It is two-sided, okay? And let's see, I wanna see if there's anything on the backs that might get featured. Oof, that almost looks like salmon eggs. And then this has just got a black design on it. So this is what I'm playing with today. Sometimes I use all of it, sometimes I use part of it, so we'll see what happens. But let me get something laid out and we'll get busy. All right, so here's the layout that I came up with for today. I decided to feature our Sunnybrook Lane border. It's one that I really like. It's got a couple of taller options, and then it's got this really fun, little bit shorter option with this really pretty wave. So the outside pieces are the Sunnybrook Lane 3A and 3B. So this particular layout is featuring borders back to back, which is just a little bit different look than some of the layering that I do. So we've got the Sunnybrook Lane 3A and 3B, and then the other is Sunnybrook Lane 1A and 1B, and that's this real wavy one. I usually like to separate the seam between two borders with either a piece of ribbon, washi tape, a strip of paper, so something here to separate those two borders. And then I did feature several photos on this layout. So I've got two 3x4s here, and I just put those both upright, and I anchored them with this tiny border from Wild Side. So this is Wild Side 3, and I just like the little bit of movement that gives on the page. It kind of echoes back to this wave. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 4x6s. Okay, so I've got some horizontal and then some vertical. That'll give me a lot of flexibility when I'm ready to add pictures. These two templates, I have Floral 1T and Floral 2T. I just wanted to do a little bit of that to kind of balance the layout out. These are very similar. They are slightly different, but for designing purposes, they work great to hold a spot for a flower. And then I will probably just use one of those templates when I'm actually ready to cut it. Okay, I'm going to do a flower center with Tiny Charmed. This is Tiny Charmed 1. And then I pulled a couple other things out of that Tiny Charmed set. This is Tiny Charmed 3. It's that little file folder label, just a nice little pop. And this is Tiny Charmed 8. Again, just a nice little decorative piece. I love that set for just bringing in small little accent pieces. So here's the basic layout for today. I'm going to start making some paper choices, and we'll see how everything comes together. All right, this palette was so fun to design with. It actually turned out feeling really elegant as I went and made choices. Sometimes these metallic papers can lend like a feeling of formality or elegance. So I'm just excited about how this came out. So for this big border piece, I featured this beautiful poppy paper. And I love how that looks against the black. Just really pops on there. I know I have had people tell me, like, I never use a black background. And of course, you know, when I do a video, I'm showing you what I'm doing. I get it if it is not your thing. If you like the layout, but not crazy about the black background, of course, find another way. You can do this however you like. I did cut the smaller Sunnybrook, so this is the 1A and 1B, on this black paper with the rose gold flowers. I went ahead and cut it so that the flower was going side to side rather than up and down. I just thought that was not exactly what I wanted. I kind of moved the border around and tried it both ways, but I really love it this way. And then for the strip, I used that half sheet of the rose gold metallic, and I really love that to separate those two borders. And again, it just brings in that really kind of elegant feel. So I'm excited about that. For the flowers, I used the back side of that poppy paper, and I'm just doing black. Okay, so there's going to be a black flower here, and I'm going to want it to come into this poppy paper quite a bit. If I do it too far this way, it's going to get a little bit lost. Okay, and I'm going to do another down this way. Okay. For the photo mats, you'll see why I ended up pulling out this cranberry. This palette really didn't leave me a lot of choices for photo mats, and I wanted to hold on to that really elegant feel. So I love this against this black background. I just think they really pop. And I could picture all kinds of photos on here, but I really think that some beautiful like outdoor photos would be lovely. You think about something that's got flowers or a really lovely green background, or it could even be, you know, for a wedding or something like that, depending on the colors, you know, other colors that you're going to pull in. So here's my basic, right? I still have this sentiment card, and it matches really well. I'm going to keep it with this layout in case whatever I do has something to do with love, and then I want to pull this in. I just am not sure yet. So I'm not going to cut this card yet. The reverse doesn't match super well. So I'm just going to hold on to this in case I decide I want to throw a heart in here later. I'll be able to do that. But let me show you what I did for the accents. I decided to pull in a little bit more of this rose gold foil. So I made that tiny charmed center for the flowers in the rose gold. Love that. The tiny charmed, I think this one was 8. Okay, this wild side border to anchor those photos, and then that file folder tab. So those little metallic accents just added a lot, and all with stuff that I already had set aside for this layout. This paper was part of that paper stack, so I had plenty to work with, and it worked out great. These flower centers, this is just a probably 3/4 inch punch out of the little piece of this background paper, the photo mat paper that I had left. Okay, I probably will add one more layer to these flowers, and I'll do like a black button or black brad center, something to just kick it up one more notch. So I am really excited about how this came out, and I think that the pictures are just going to make it. When I think about what I want to elevate on this layout to add some dimension, I'll definitely do a little bit of elevating with these flowers. Probably, I might do the whole flower elevated, or I'll elevate in between the black and the gold layer. I will elevate this wild side, and I'll elevate this tiny charmed piece. I'll probably leave the file folder piece tucked under, just because I kind of like the look of that coming from underneath the edge of the photo. But this came together so quickly and just turned out so beautiful using that C'est La Vie stack. The one piece that I ended up not featuring at all, and I had grouped this with this stack, was this one. It's a really lovely piece of paper. I will use it for something, maybe some cards or something like that, but it didn't work for me with this layout. Now, if I had put it together a different way, it probably would have been perfect. It just didn't go with the choices that I ended up making. So I hope that you got some ideas today for another 2-page layout, and that you're feeling inspired to get out your papers and get crafting. So I appreciate you joining me today. I hope that whatever you are doing, you are having a wonderful day, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.